Good afternoon. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Fabulous. Great. Thank you so much. So good afternoon and welcome. This is our second Community Engagement Advisory Board Ad Hoc Committee for Proposal Prioritization meeting. My name is Mary Kate Cruz Jones, and I am Cradle-to-Career's Chief of Strategic Initiatives and Partnerships. Today's meeting will be run in accordance with the Bagley-Keene Open Meeting Act as required by law, and we plan to end around 2 p.m. Although, of course, if our advisory board ad hoc committee should be so efficient, we may adjourn earlier than that. I'd like to welcome members of this committee who are with me today, at least the members who are on the committee are members Gamboa, Khosravi, Navarez, Nguyen, and Takagi. They are all participating remotely as indicated on the agenda. So before we begin, a small note to members, please ensure that your cameras remain on throughout the duration of the meeting. You'll notice we've spotlighted those members, so hopefully folks following us along at home can see our members throughout the duration of this meeting. All right, next slide, please. Let's take a look at our agenda. So on August 22nd, members of the ad hoc committee met to publicly discuss the recommendations received from members and prioritize the top 3 proposals, as well as the reasonings for those proposals to be prioritized. 2 members worked offline. That was members Gamboa and member Takagi. So thank you so much. I remember, oh dear, I'm a black, I have a black pillar in front of my face. That's probably super helpful and fun. Let me move that over a tiny bit. Is this more helpful this evening? Fabulous. Good run. So thank you both for your help on that. I'm looking at member Takagi. So thank you very much. I see you on the line. So once y'all got that report back to us, we posted it. And then what is going to take place today is we're going to hopefully adopt that report, and then we'll be able to post that on the proposal page and then share that with our Community Engagement Advisory Board members. Beautiful. So before we dig into today's work, I just want to take a look at what lies in front of us. There's 6 items on today's agenda. As a reminder to folks, our agenda is posted on the C2C website, and that notes the agenda items where we'll be accepting public comment today. Members will be voting on 2 agenda items. We'll open it up for public comment a total of 4 times. And it's important to note that we'll, should we have a lot of participation, we'll be shortening speaking time, but that's if we get more than 10 folks wanting to comment. So wonderful. Thank you all. I'd love to call this meeting to order at 12:04 p.m. And I'd love to pass it off to Stephanie Gutierrez Valdez to call roll. Thank you.
Member Gamboa. Member Khosravi. Member Navarez.
Present.
Member Nguyen.
Present.
And member Takagi.
Present.
We have 3 members present, 2 absent. We have a quorum.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much. So we're going to move on to agenda item 2, approval of the meeting minutes from the August 22nd, 2024 Community Engagement Advisory Board Ad Hoc Committee meeting for proposal prioritization. So taking a look at this, members, y'all had a chance to review the minutes. Any member additions, clarifications, or corrections that need to be committed? Hearing none, may I have a motion, please?
I have a motion I make a motion to approve these minutes.
Thank you.
Member
Member
Navarez.
Nguyen, second. Member Nguyen, I second.
Wonderful. I appreciate the signaling. Member Navarez, I had my motion. Member Nguyen, I have my second. So with a motion and a second on the table to approve, again, for folks following along at home, the Community Engagement Advisory Board Ad Hoc Committee for proposal prioritization meeting minutes from the August 22nd, 2024 meeting. We have a motion and second on the table. Before we vote, let's pause for public comment. I'll pass it back off to Stephanie Gutierrez Valdez to walk us through this process.
If you want to comment on this agenda item, I apologize. We have no commenters here in Sacramento. For members of the public attending via Zoom, please raise your hand if you would like to comment on this agenda item. I will give it a moment. Currently, I see no hands raised at this time. So I see no hands raised. I will go ahead and close public comment at this time.
Beautiful. We have a motion, we have a second. Let's open it up for a vote. So Stephanie Gutierrez Valdez, please.
Okay, Member Gamboa. Member Kostrowski. Member Navarez.
Aye.
Member Nguyen.
Aye.
Member Takagi.
Aye.
For the record, we have 3 ayes and two members absent for vote.
The motion passes. Wonderful. All right, let's move on to agenda item 3, which is discussion, public comment, and possible action on the prioritization of the community engagement member proposals draft report. So if there are folks following along at home or wherever you may be, please feel free to access that staff report, which is on the C2C website for members. You receive this in your packet of materials. During this agenda item, I'm just going to do a quick refresher. So should there be anybody new joining us, we want everybody to be on the same page and understand this process and what we're doing. And then we'll just walk through this together. So let's take a look at the next slide, meeting 1, and what y'all did then. So going back a step further, on July 10, y'all met. This was the joint advisory boards meeting. So data and tools was there, community engagement was there, and the community engagement advisory board determined that y'all wanted to convene this ad hoc committee, of which we then got the 5 folks that convened this committee, 3 of us who are with us. And y'all met on August 22nd to take a look at the 6 proposals that were submitted by either yourself or fellow members. And during that meeting, y'all prioritized top 3 proposals for prioritization and had a lively discussion about that clear reasoning as to why those 3 were prioritized. Y'all identified the top 3 as, and those are noted here on the slide: data literacy outreach tools submitted by member Takagi, foundational ground, the workforce vision submitted by member Navarez, and strategic engagement and targeted training submitted by member Khosravi. So the ad hoc committee authorized, as we've mentioned today, member Gamboa and member Takagi to meet offline to draft a report, itemizing those top 3 prioritizations and then providing those clear justifications. So what we're going to do at today's meeting 2, so if we go to the next slide. Prior to today, y'all and members of the public had the chance to review that draft report, completed again by those 2 members. Thank you, eternally grateful. The primary focus of today's discussion will be for our members to carefully review that draft, identify any areas that require revisions, should that be needed, because it might not be needed, and then discuss what next steps would look like, ideally adopting this report today. Data and tools is a little bit ahead of y'all. They had adopted their report and that was it. And then it was shared with members. So that's actually going toward our key milestones, which is on the next slide. As I conclude my presentation, I just want to touch upon some upcoming milestones again, because this proposal process is a bit dense. There's lots of layers, there's lots of moving parts, and this is where member participation is really starting to ramp up. And again, thank you to you all, because you went above and beyond. Member Khosravi, welcome. Thank you.
Good to be here. Sorry, I wait.
No, thank you. So we're just going through the key milestones. So on September 9th, Okay, so sorry, let's take a step back. Hopefully today we adopt that proposal. Ideally, there's no changes needed. We'll get that online. Should changes be needed, we'll need that final report by September 6th. Looking forward to Monday, which is September 9th. That's when all of our community engagement members will receive that pre-meeting survey. And then your ad hoc committee report will get part of that parcel of materials that members will receive. Y'all will have a full 2 weeks to complete that pre-meeting survey. Again, you'll be taking a look at all 6 proposals, comparing that with the rubric, and then prioritizing. Once the office gets that pre-meeting survey back and tabulates those prioritizations, we'll be sharing with members via the agenda what those top 3 look like. And then that's what's going to kick in our amendment process. So just as a reminder to you all, our amendment process will look and feel different this year, and that you need to fill out via form. Amendments should be a clear, as noted on the form, a clear, it should clarify what the proposal is or should mean versus additions to the proposal. So any amendments would be due on October 7th, so we could get those posted before your meeting, which will happen on October 16th in person here in Sacramento. So a lot coming down. Again, appreciate your participation and willingness. So now that we've kind of looked through, what we've done, what's in front of us, and what's to come, I'd love to put a motion on the table, which is noted in the staff report. On the next slide, the motion is noted. And that could look like move to approve the ad hoc committee's proposal prioritization draft report as provided in the staff report to be shared as a recommendation to the Community Engagement Advisory Board members during the pre-meeting survey process. So that's the recommended motion. What I'd love to do now is open it up for member questions, comments, deliberation, or should y'all feel so confident, we could get a motion in a second. But we'll pull down the slide deck now and hear from you all.
Member Navarez, I just had a clarifying question. I'm looking at the voting for the rubric. You had spoken about the 6 proposals, but there were only 3 proposals that were included in the staff report. I'm just wondering if there's anything that needs to be done if we are going to have the entire committee or the entire board vote on all 6. Is there something that needs to be done to include the additional ones that are not in the staff report?
No. So if y'all remember, your charge was just to prioritize your top 3, which you did. It's a recommendation to our advisory board members, and members can should take a look at all 6 and prioritize as they see fit.
Okay,
So
great. Thank you.
by-
I just want to make
Yeah.
sure that I was like, I think we didn't need to, but just in case, I thought I would
Yeah.
double check.
Don't worry, you've done everything that you need to do. Yes. Thank you.
If the members, no other members have questions, I'd like to go ahead and move the motion. Councilmember Khosravi.
And member Navarez, I'll second that motion.
Wonderful. So I have a motion, I have a second. What I'd like to do now is let's open it up for public comment. And I'd love to pass it off to Stephanie Gutierrez Valdez to lead us through that process, please.
Yes, we have no commenters here in Sacramento. For members of the public attending via Zoom, I'd ask you to please raise your hands if you would like to comment on this agenda item. We currently have no raised hands. However, I want to give a couple of seconds to allow interested individuals to do so. So at this time, we have no public comments on Zoom, so I will close the public comment period. Oh, I see.
My apologies. I just had a question. Were there any written public comments at this time?
So we Thank you, Member Navarez, for that. We did receive written public comment. It's not typically something that we elevate, but to voice over, to answer your question, there was one written public comment that was shared via all folks on the listserv, so that's how the public received it. And then all members did receive that written public comment, via the platform where they received material. So yes, one written public comment was received. Thank you. Fabulous.
Great. Yes, we have a motion and a second. For the clarity of the record, we can repeat the motion. The motion before us is to move to approve the ad hoc committee's proposal prioritization draft report as provided in the staff report to be shared with the Community Engagement Advisory Board members during the pre-meeting survey process. I will now do a roll call vote. Member Gamboa. Member Herstrabi.
Aye.
Member Navarez.
Aye.
Member Nguyen.
Aye.
And Member Takagi.
Aye.
For the clarity of the record, we have 4 ayes and 0 nays and 0 abstentions.
The motion passes. Wonderful. Thank you, committee members. Again, thank you for your hard work. Member Takagi, who I see in front of me, and Gamboa. All right, brilliant. So we have a little bit more to get through here. Let's move on to agenda item 4. This is general public comment. So if there's anybody on the line that would like to make a general comment, now's your time. Stephanie, can you please open it up for us?
Yes, I will now go ahead and note that there are no comments here in Sacramento. However, let's go ahead and move on to Zoom. I'd ask interested members of the public attending via Zoom to please raise your hand at this time if you would like to comment. At this time, we have no raised hands. I will close public comment.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. We'll move on to agenda item 5, which is future agenda items. Basically, if there's members that would like to see something, this is your last ad hoc committee meeting. But I'd like to defer to you all should you like to request anything. Now's your time. Hearing none, we'll open it up to the public. Stephanie Gutierrez Valdez, please.
Yes, noting that we have no comments here in Sacramento. However, we will go ahead and move over to Zoom. I'd ask interested members of the public attending via Zoom to please raise your hand at this time if you would like to comment on this agenda item. Noting no raised hands, however, I want to go ahead and give a couple of seconds to allow those the opportunity to do so. At this time, we have no public comment, which closes up the public comment period of this agenda item.
Thank you. All right, we've gotten to our last agenda item, which is 6, adjournment. So thank you to everyone who's joined us today. I appreciate 4 of our 5 members coming here today to finish the work of the committee. There was a lot of work, hard discussions. And the good news for you is maybe you're all going into Monday knowing exactly how you'll prioritize. So you've done homework for yourself. So that's great. I really appreciate as well the written comment that we received, as well as the other folks that joined us. More to come. Please stay tuned. We'll hear more from the Community Engagement Advisory Board when they meet again on October 16th, again in Sacramento, which will be our physical location, but folks can as well join us via Zoom, as we always have a hybrid meeting. Jackie Navarez, member, I see your hand, please.
Yes, I just want to reiterate a special thanks to Member Takagi and Member Gamboa for writing the report. I very much appreciate their camaraderie and willingness to support this effort. So thank you.
100% agree. Fabulous. Well, if there's no member, Parshan Hosravi, please.
Just want to echo Jackie, but also add all thanks to all the staff as well, who's been so incredible in this process. I'm sure Jackie also will concur in this, and everybody in the committee. We all have been amazing. throughout this process and made this seamlessly easy. So thank you.
Yay. Well, what better way to end than on words of gratitude? Member Nguyen, please.
I echo the same, and I also echo gratitude as well to the 6 proposal writers as well. These people, these fellow members were part of this, first ever second process actually. But we did hit our, our little target this year in terms of proposals because we only got one last year. So I echo that we're able to continue our mission and continue proposals flowing in as well. So I hope we can definitely reconvene next year too.
Wonderful concluding thoughts. Thank you for the additions. I appreciate it. It takes a village. With that, I think we can conclude this meeting at 12:21 p.m. I'll be seeing folks soon. And have a wonderful day. Happy Wednesday.
Thanks, friends. Bye.
Thank you.